have to get the day started with coffee. Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel here. This is another one of my vlogs. Really quick, I want to actually talk to all of you about my latest project as well as my wife's latest project. She is a writer, I'm a writer, and that is one of the many things that we bond about all the time. Well, we both have books coming out. We have some books coming out, and mine is a collection of my webcomics, and hers is a book called A Touch of Love. Today we've just been reviewing it. Let me show you this book. Hang on a second. Here's this book. Her book, A Touch of Love. She's been working on this book forever, and you guys, as soon as it comes out, as soon as she's done with the edits, and as soon as I'm done helping her with the edits, it'll be out, it'll be done, and we'll be able to have it to you guys. You must read it, you must check it out. I say you must because I've read some of it and it's quite good. That's one thing. Number one, writers, get yourself a really good cup of coffee. And then of course, really quick, want to recommend some books for you. It's summer. What does that mean? It's summer as I make this video now. So what does that mean? Well, summer reading. So my recommendation, if you're gonna do any reading, these are a few books that I just kind of really quick want to tell you. I plan on doing kind of maybe some full extent reviews on some books, but let me just kind of ease in and just kind of encourage all of you who are out there just sitting there, you're listening, you're looking at this video, and maybe you're thinking about actually going for a project. Well, for those of you who want to do some reading or some good writing or whatever, as you know, I'm not even kinda, I don't even know why I'm playing. I am a big cartoon and comic book and comic strip fanatic, and anime also. So with that being said, here are some of the books that I'm recommending for the summer. One, Wallace the Brave. This series is awesome, and there's a little something about my book that I don't want to tell you yet, but it has a little bit to do with the author. And I'll tell y'all later when I get to it, but I can't tell you yet because I really don't want to break the news yet. But anyway, Wallace the Brave by Will Henry. This book is an amazing book. It's a collection of his comic strips. It's quite awesome. I enjoy it because it really captures the simpler times of childhood, right? But also it captures it so well in beautiful art form. And Will Henry is just a genius. I mean, the dude is just a genius, so you gotta read his book. Then there's also this. I love independent artists, and I love connecting with them. I met this guy on Instagram. His name is Steve Weller, and he is a middle school teacher, and he created this webcomic called, or an Instagram comic strip called Middle School Days, or middle school, and then of course his subtitles often are like one of his latest book that's coming out is Middle School Rocks, if I remember correctly. But then he has this one called Middle School Days, and then he had another book also called Middle School Stinks. And this is also a great book as well, and it's a collection of his comics from Instagram, and it's actually really good as well. And I've often laugh about those kind of stories, and I also love writing, not only reading but also writing about the middle school days, because as traumatic and as funny and crazy as my own middle school experience was, I like to kind of turn it around and actually encourage other young people that we've been there, we know how awkward and weird and uncomfortable the feeling of being in middle school was. We know what it's like to be, we remember what it was like to be a kid. And even now, it's just not easy. So, understandable. We're with you. We got you. Then, another guy who I also met on Instagram, really cool dude. His name is Jason Platt, and he's the creator of the book, Mr. and Me. And of course, he's the creator of the comic strip. Of course, the book is a collection of his comic strip called Mr. and Me, and it's a very good book. So you should check this out because there's a ton of really good stuff. Basically, the misadventures of a father and son, and also the adventures, not just misadventures, but also the adventures of a father and son. And of course, if you are a Star Wars fan, you will see plenty of references to Star Wars. Then there's this one comic strip that I also really got into about a year ago, and it's a shame that it hasn't continued for a while. I would love to see some more new strips from this guy. But his name, or their names, is a husband and wife team, Matt and Kay Daigle. Man, I hope I'm getting that last name correctly. Please forgive me if I did not. But he's the creator of this collection of webcomics, collection of webcomics or comic strips called That Deaf Guy. And this is a great book. It's That Deaf Guy, A Wild Ride. And in it is pretty much the story of a father who is deaf and his son and wife sign language with him. Even though those two are not deaf and the dad is, it's actually really fascinating how the whole family pretty much does sign language, and they do real American Sign Language in the book, which is utterly fascinating and so cool. It actually encouraged me and inspired me and my wife Rachel to actually do and learn sign language, which actually she already knows a lot of sign language and actually can sign faster than me, of which I now am going to have to catch up. With that, that's my book review for the moment.